15 years. According to a new report published by NASA, in 15 years, society as we know it could collapse. And I know what you're thinking. This isn't because of Donald Trump and his 2016 presidential campaign. This is because of much more than that. It's easy to blame each other for mistakes, but it's not as easy to blame ourselves. Climate change, global warming, overpopulation are all reasons why our world might end. In 15 years, more than that or even less. When this report was published, countless young people took to social media to voice their conclusions about this, with hashtags trending, hashtag Divergent, hashtag Suzanne Collins called it first. Is dystopian literature really turning our new generation into zombies who believe the world isn't worth saving? For those of you that don't know, a dystopia is a world that is basically a living hell, to keep it short. Totalitarian governments are ruling, and they basically manipulate their citizens in order to stay in power, or to filter information through to them. Sounds appealing? You can ask any teenager in this room, and I'm sure that at least 80% of them, if not 90, have read at least one dystopian novel. But what actually is appealing to this? What actually is drawing our teenagers to this? Perhaps it's just the need for drama that keeps us interjecting aliens and cyborgs into our novels, or perhaps even just the thrill of pursuit and rebellion seeming to come naturally to teenagers. I'm sure the parents in the room are already nodding. Now moving on. I think one thing that teenagers really admire in these novels is the fact that they're so honest with their readers. Authors don't try to keep anything from them and don't try to soften the blow that the world is basically a living hell. I remember when I was in year 6, I was, I think, 11 years old. I wasn't even a teenager yet. And I tried out for JumeirahCollege. And to keep this short, I didn't get it. And I think that's why I'm standing here today. I remember when I didn't get in, my parents sat me down and they told me that I didn't get it. But that's not my fault, of course. It's because the school didn't deserve me. It's not my fault. That didn't mean that I'm less capable than any kids or that I'm less smart than them. It's because of the school's fault. It's because the school didn't deserve it. And I guess I appreciate them trying to protect my feelings, but I'm not dumb. There must have been something that I was missing or something that I didn't do that enabled me not to get into the school. And even though I guess my feelings were protected, I also felt kind of hurt. Did my parents not think that I could handle reality? Did they not think that I could handle reality and embrace it? And this doesn't only stop at home. Even in school, we get lied to, especially in your world. So Natalie told Kristen that Macy told Alan an endless web of lies that we're always being exposed to. And they're not in these novels. In these novels, we only see the truth. Another thing about dystopian novels that might appeal to teenagers is the fact that they're relatable. Now, I'm not saying that all teenagers are in some sort of totalitarian state, but hear me out. Let's take the Hunger Games, for example. Teenagers are forced to fight to the death, abandoning their beliefs in what they truly want to happen, while district leaders rave about what an honor it is just to be chosen. Let's compare this to an average adolescent high school experience. Adults drop kids into the viper pit of high school, where they're forced to survive, and you have to be totally fake to do so. A brutal social hierarchy prevails, with the rich, the good-looking, and the athletic, lording their advantages over everyone else. Can you see the resemblance? Now, I'm not saying that we are exactly like Tris or Katniss, but there is resemblance, and we do feel a connection to these characters and their confinement and how they're trapped in their own worlds. I remember when I first came to secondary school. I was on a high, I graduated from year 6, I was top of my class, and you know what? I was basically the most important thing. And then I came to secondary school, and I was walking the corridors with basically giraffes who were like at least 10 feet taller than me. How is this transition fair? I was completely unprepared for this, and I went home to my mom saying, I want to go back to primary now. Another captivating aspect of these stories is the fact they all have a teenage protagonist, a strong teenage protagonist. Predictable as this may be, these people are who our children strive to be. These are what they dress up for Halloween. This is what they gossip about in the corridors. Everybody wants to be like that. But why? Is it because they're rebellious? Is it because they're irresponsible and undisciplined? But there's something much deeper to that. These characters show strength and courage, even in the face of danger and certain death. They risk anything and everything for what they believe in. And maybe that's what we're trying to teach our children. We're trying to teach them to fight for what they believe in. And if a little irresponsibility and undisciplinedness comes into that, is that such a bad thing? So to conclude, what is the most appealing aspect of dystopian novels? Is it the fact that they're relatable, or they're honest, or maybe it's just fun to see people jumping off buildings? But there's one underlying theme in every dystopian novel that tends to be overlooked. It's something that comes up time and time again in old novels and even in new ones. That one message is that every one of us has the power to change the world. Tris, Katniss, Neo were all regular citizens in their old worlds before they became the force to change it. They defied the system, they defied all odds. So no, our world isn't a bunch of brain-dead zombies who just believe the world is destined to end. We are so much more than that. We have courage, we have strength, and we persevere. Not only because of these novels, but even in general. So if our world does end up ending in 15 years, we'll have plenty of Trisses and Katnisses to ensure that we don't make the same mistakes depicted in the movies. That the future is what we make it, and dystopian novels are not hindering that. Thank you.